viewers, welcome back. This is the second half of my sort of end of the year 2015 gaming pickups. Part one, I'll put a link in the description below, kind of talking about some of the newest games I picked up last year. Not all of them. Definitely, I left out a few retro games, and I know last year I got quite a few like original Xbox and PS2 games. I forget which ones exactly, but that video was kind of highlighting more of the new/modern games, as well as a few NES games that I picked up. So to keep both videos short, I decided to save the handheld pickups for this video. And I really don't have too many here, probably 15 or so. So we'll just go through these here real quick as well. But yeah, link in the description below for the first part. That's the console pickups, and these are the handheld pickups. Just gonna give a list of what we've been getting lately. And it's kind of it's winter season here, and I like in the winter kind of just to cozy up with a nice handheld, either kind of sitting on the couch in a blanket or sitting in bed before I go to bed, and just kind of playing an hour or so of some handheld games. Get my DS or Vita or PSP, something like that, Game Boy, and it's a good way to relax and wind down the day, in my opinion. So there's nothing more cozier than just bundle up and playing a nice little handheld game. Especially now, a lot of these are really probably console quality, especially if you're playing on the 3DS or Vita. They are really, really great games, and just stuff you can't get on your mobile phone or tablet. So hey, I want to give a shout out here before we get started. I like my shout outs and promoting other channels that I really like on YouTube. This is not going to be an actual channel. This is instead a podcast. You can find it on Podbean. It's the Start to Continue podcast, STC Pod. Bill and Joe, they are the hosts of the podcast. Again, I'll provide a link for their podcast in the description below. It's kind of a free form. They don't really talk. They don't really have a subject or anything to talk about. Nothing too important, but they have a great just sort of back and forth. They talk about various subjects, and they do make it very entertaining. They are pretty funny to listen to. Gaming is kind of at its core. There's a lot of video game talk. They kind of branch off into TV shows and movies that they've been watching and giving some opinions on that. So it's been a really great podcast. I've been a little bit down lately just for personal reasons, and I try to listen to at least an episode or two. I have a lot to catch up on they got about almost 70 episodes here, so but each one's roughly right about an hour, so, and it's always very entertaining, so I can't recommend them enough. They are great and never cease to put a smile on my face. So, and they're part of the Cartridge Club community as well. So again, link in the description for their podcast below. Really is a good listen, really is. So alright, on with the games. Just basically got DS, 3DS, PSP, and Vita games, just a couple of each. No Game Boy Advance. I know I probably picked just a couple of them up throughout last year, but again, I forget which ones, just because I don't document them. So, but a place I visit is having a half-off sale store-wide here very soon, and I was kind of looking at some of their inventory last time I was there, and I do know I'm going to get a few Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games from them next time. So who knows? We might actually do at least one more pickups video. I don't know if these are entertaining, but there'll probably be at least one more to come. So here we go. Nintendo DS, the legendary Starfree. This is a popular platformer in Japan. I'm not sure if we ever seen a game prior to this one here in the U.S. or North America, but there's a few of them in Japan. It's kind of a fun platformer. If you think of the Kirby games, it's kind of like the Kirby games. So only played a little bit of that, but it is fun. It's cutesy. It's a kind of an old school Super Nintendo type platform. Good stuff. The Sonic Mega Collection, was that what it's called? Classics Collection for the DS. Basically just Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 2, 3, and Sonic and Knuckles. Back when they were good. These are great games. A nice little bonus here is you can play as Knuckles in Sonic 2 and 3, kind of like you could when you had the original Sonic and Knuckles cartridge, which is way up there. I'm not going to get it. But, you know, you put the game on top of that, and you can play as Knuckles in those games. So, nice little bonus feature. This one I know I got earlier than in the summer of 2015. I talked about a little bit on Twitter. This is Contra 4. Big fan of the Contra series. Glad to see it back, although it's been a few years now. But one extra bonus with this game is, I didn't even know this when I first got it. Included in there right away, right, unlocked right from the very beginning, are the original 2 NES Contra games. So Contra and Super C are available with this as well. Too bad not Contra 3, the Alien Wars, that Super Nintendo one. Unfortunately not on there as far as I'm concerned. Maybe you unlock it. But at least the 2 NES ones are available right off the bat. And this new Contra game is fantastic. Must own for the DS. And last for the original DS, Metroid Prime Pinball. I love my Metroid, one of my favorite franchises. Not a big fan of the Metroid Prime series, I gotta be honest. It's kind of weird, I just never got that into it. But I do love pinball, and I do love Metroid, and I think that's a good mix. Let's go to the 3DS. Just got this one on the GameCube not too long ago. I'm kind of playing through that one currently. So I have not started this one yet, but it's Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon for the 3DS. Apparently there's several mansions you can go with this one. So I'm looking forward to putting that one in. Also for the 3DS, Dead or Alive Dimensions. DOA, it's kind of a fun little fighting game. I have the first 3 on the original Xbox, and I think I just got DOA 5 on the 360 not too long ago. Haven't really played much of that one either. So, and of course those beach volleyball games are something else. I'm not good at those. I'm not actually a huge fan of them, but for some reason I have them in my collection. Go figure. Hey, let's take, I'm going to do this one here. Another one I haven't played just yet, Link Between Worlds for the 3DS. Always hear great things about this game. And of course, it's a Legend of Zelda game. You can't go wrong with that. I didn't like the previous ones that were on the original DS, but this one a lot of people are really raving about. And I'm a big fan of Link to the Past. So I might need to play through Link to the Past at least one more time, because it's been a very long time. I'd like to maybe play that one first and put that one in. So lots of gaming to do on my end. And last but not least, this was very cheap, but it was new as well. Pilot Wings Resort. Pilot Wings, kind of a classic Super Nintendo game, which I'm not good at, but I'm finding I'm having a little more success with this one. It kind of a nice little island. You can do a plane, rocket belt, and hang glider, kind of through the island there, doing various stunts and going through various races and time trials. So it's a fun little game. I think it was roughly $10 here, U.S. currency. And I think that's a good price for it. There's not a lot of game there. I would have been disappointed if I paid full price for that game. But what very little is there is pretty good. Let's move on to PSP. I love my PSP even still to this day. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII, kind of a prequel to Final Fantasy VII. Haven't played this one yet, so just got to sit down when I have a few hours or get to bed early and just have a couple hours with that game. I think that would be kind of fun. So, Castlevania, the Dracula X Chronicles. This was recommended just recently on our good friend Buried on Mars over on his channel. He's kind of talking a little bit about this. It has Castlevania Rondo of Blood, which is a Sega Genesis Castlevania game, revamped a little bit, kind of looks a little nicer. And then once you get a little further, you get to unlock Castlevania Symphony of the Night, the PS1 classic, which is a must-own. A lot of people say one of the best, if not the best Castlevania game, and definitely one of the best original PlayStation games. I don't have it on my PS1. I never actually got a chance to find it, and I know online it goes for a little bit, but I'm glad at least I have a version of it now on the PSP, so that'll be a lot of fun. Speaking of PS1, here's another PS1 classic, Medieval. It got kind of revamped on the PSP a while back. Medieval, what's this one? Resurrection. Pretty much a remake of the PlayStation 1 game. Lots of fun. I think this is a fun little platformer, you know, hack and slash type thing. Pretty funny as well. It's a funny story. So if you haven't played the original PS1, and if you can find it on the PSP, I'd go for that, because it is a lot of fun to be had. This was a launch game on the PSP, Death Jr., just one I overlooked originally when the PSP first came out. Decided to give it a go, and kind of like Medieval, it kind of has that sort of dark, creepy vibe without it being creepy. It's cartoony, but it sort of has good games to play around Halloween, I think. And yeah, this one has been actually pretty fun. I got a few stages into it. And just did the tutorial, just started this game. UMD is out there. Kind of completing the Metal Gear collection a little bit. Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. This is all the fun of like Metal Gear Solid 3 and sort of the newer ones on the PSP. Great controls. Controls work out very well for this one. I know they did this part of a modern collection too. You can find it on PS3, but yeah, going to be a lot of fun to play on the PSP, I think. All right, last 4 is for the PlayStation Vita. Here's some more Final Fantasy 10 and 10-2 remastered. I'm kind of disappointed because on the little card itself, they just have Final Fantasy 10. You have to, they give you a code to download Final Fantasy 10-2. It's not available on the card. I got mine second hand, and I actually did not know it was going to be a digital download. So of course the download code had already been used. So I pretty much only got Final Fantasy 10, but that's okay. Maybe I'll buy it separately on the store, but I don't think you can. I don't think 10.2 is available for a separate download. Disappointing. I do love my Vita quite a bit. This was a game you can only get on the Vita. I think they're bringing it to the PS4 though, sort of a remastered version of that, but this is Gravity Rush. If you own a Vita, it's definitely a very unique game. You play as Cat. Kind of a little bit of a flat platformer where you can kind of control gravity. You can go 0G and kind of go from building to building. So it's been a lot of fun. Definitely a unique game on the Vita, and I like that. Also, only on the Vita, Touch My Katamari. I always enjoyed the PS2 Katamari games. I think I only played 1 or 2 of those originally, so glad to have it again on the Vita here. Going to be a lot of fun. Roll stuff up in a ball and make your Katamari ball as big as can be in a certain time limit. So it's pretty simple, but plays very well on the Vita as well. And lastly, another only on Vita game. This was a game I've been looking for a little while. It was available. I've seen it quite a few places originally, and then it just kind of disappeared for a little while. This is Freedom Wars. I got this, of all places, GameStop. I know my fondness of GameStop is kind of iffy. Not a huge fan of them. But this was a new game. It was at GameStop, and it was for $15 U.S. currency. So I thought, wow. Salute to GameStop. They had a game I was trying to find for quite a while, and it was a very reasonable price because I know those Vita games are getting a little bit harder to find now here in North America, unfortunately. So that'll do it. That's pretty much just my games that I got a little bit in the last few months of 2015. Again, console pickups are in the video below. I know I got, like I said, a couple Xbox and PS2 games, a number of Atari games, but I forget which ones exactly. I need to do better at keeping track of them, but I don't plan on doing a lot of pickup videos anyway, so yeah, that'll do it actually for this video. So again, Start to Continue podcast, a lot of fun. Again, gaming at its core, but does branch off into TVs and movies and kind of what they've been up to and adventures with Bill and Joe. I had a chance to do a Cartridge Club podcast. It was the 24th episode, Super Mario Sunshine. I did that one with Bill as well as a few other guests. So good stuff. All right, I'm done. I talked way too much on this video, but I got some good pickups, and all these come recommended. Even the ones I haven't played yet. I know they're going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to sitting down and playing them sometimes. So that will do it. We'll get back to our regular videos here in the near future. A couple more console system reviews. Got some a fun mystery plug and play. I can't wait to show that off, as well as some various knickknacks and a couple more hidden gems for various systems, including NES and PS2, etc. So all that will be coming here in the very near future. I have a little bit of free time, so I'm going to try to crank out a few videos before we start up a new job. So again, thanks for everybody for watching. If there's any PSP or Vita recommendations, I'm looking to expand my collection. I really love those systems quite a bit. Leave a comment below on some games that you recommend, and I definitely will check them out. So everybody take care. Thank you so much for watching and liking the video, and we'll see you next time.